Good day, boys and girls. Remember back in 2020, the lockdowns? I built this bad boy right here. Nothing but the finest craftsmanship. Yeah, no. I just threw it together because of the lockdowns. I needed a radio. So I built the model CV 2020. Now we can't say names here. The government, they don't like us talking about that stuff. So this is a solar video. So I needed a battery. You know, this thing here only runs off of a cord. So I needed to build a battery system for it. Enter the CV 19 2023. My battery backup for my radio. 5,000 kilowatts. Nah, I'm just joking about that too. Listen, built this. We get ice storms here in Oklahoma. It takes out our power for like 5 days. So I wanted to keep the refrigerator and the freezer going without having to fire up my generator. So I went on a quest to put together a system that would run our refrigerator, our freezer, and the fan for our natural gas heater. So that's all I got to get going to get heat in my house. Natural gas is still working. I just need the fan. Enter this puppy right here. All right, let's go over the heart of this operation. The batteries. I got the Redodo. And why do you Redodo? Because you'd rather Redodo than Redodon't. All right. I did my research. Redodo, Redodo, however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Redodo because you want to get these. Because the price was like $260 some per battery. And there's like 1280 watt hour batteries, 100 amp, 12 volt. And see, it says right there, 12.8 100 amp batteries. They're ready to go. Great price, great value, and it's going to handle what I need for my power outages. So there's the meat and potatoes of it. And again, you would rather Redodo than Redodon't. You can get a cheaper battery maybe, but you're not going to get the customer service that these Redodo batteries can provide. All right, following up. I bought these T-Tocas breakers because you can literally just push the button, disconnects everything. Put a 250 down here, way overkill, but it's primarily being used for a little bit of safety and to cut the system off. I like the lugs on the 200 amps and above of the T-Tocas. The T-Tocas brand is 3/8 inch lug whenever you go to 200 amps and above. I like that. Got these bus bars. They were cheap. Got to do a little bit more research. They're going to be fine for me. They said 250 amps. I thought that was great. But come to find out, these are just brass, nickel-plated brass. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing anything more than about maybe max 120 amps. Max whenever I'm drawing the three things I was telling you about, the refrigerator, freezer, and the fan for the things. I'm not too concerned with this build. It's gonna do fine. If I want a cup of coffee or something like that, you know, I'm not running them 24/7. So if they get a little hot, then they'll cool back down. But there was one of my mistakes right there. Should have looked, got all copper. All right, coming up, two more T-Tocases. A 200 amper, again with the 3/8 inch lugs. I like that. Going to my WZRELB pure sine wave inverter, 3,000 watts at 24 volts. That's right, I'm doing a tie-in two together in series, two together in parallel. So I got a 24 volt system. Over here I got a T-Tocas 80 amp breaker. It's coming up to my HQST solar controller, charger, controller, whatever you want to call it. And a little bit about this HQST is, yeah, it's an off-brand name, but if you look, the great folks at Redodo have a 40 amp controller that looks just like this. This is a 60 ampere, and I got it for a little over $200. Now, if you get that, you're not going to get the support that you did from, say, Redodo. In fact, HQST, they sent me the wrong tracking number, said it was going to Houston. I don't live in Houston. Then it said it arrived in Houston. I didn't arrive. I kept on, they wouldn't answer me back. No customer service. They answered me back whenever they said, oh, we showed that it showed up on your front porch today. Well, that was like a couple days after it said it showed up down in Houston. So, yeah, you're not going to get any customer support, in my opinion, in my experience. So if you want to save some bucks, go out with this. Yeah, I'll have to show you the box it came into. That's kind of funny. This is a rebrand of another company that bought it from another company. And I think the company's Helios, maybe, makes them. I don't know. But yeah, do your own research on that. Again, great review on it by, there's a guy, let me talk about that. There's a guy reviewed this on the YouTubes, as I like to call it. You know, he wears white gloves, give double-fisted punches, pow-pow, I don't know. Kind of, you know, he loved it, but I'm sure they were giving him good customer support because they knew he was going to push it for him. So, yeah, whatever he had a question, they would probably ask it, you know, answer his calls right away. But gave it a good review. So I'm thinking it's a solid product. It weighs a ton. This thing is built solid. So I don't think, if it works, which it is, I don't think I'm going to have an issue now that I don't need customer support anymore. Coming down to the inverter, the WZRELB brand. Very popular. A lot of people get them. 3,000 watt inverter. Nice big lugs. I'm only going to be running about 1,000 watts through this bad boy though. And come over here. Got a nice digital screen, shows you the volts coming in and the AC coming out. Let me unplug this. You've got the 110 outlet. They say you probably should only use about 15 amps down to that sucker. Then you can run more close to 30 amps off of the tie lines. And I marked them. Hot, ground, neutral. There's no markings for it, but I did it with the meter. Made sure I'm looking really good. But from what I did from my research, everybody's really happy about these, and they don't draw too much current just sitting idle. They do, I mean, but not any more than most other brands. So pretty happy with that. Coming down to my wires, got 2 gauge, should handle up to 150 amps, I believe is what it is with the 2 gauge. Crimped on some nice lugs, which I'll get into that in a second, but did that. One of my mistakes, everybody's gonna call me out on it, is I need to run this ground instead of coming down to here. Need to run it over here. The power's off of that one, so these all charge more equally. Yeah, I kind of screwed that up, so working on that. All right, on my solar input, got this one with the box and everything. It was about 30 bucks. Oh, by the way, these are gonna average around $30. This was like $32, $35, let's be safe in saying, to get this breaker. But it's nice. I got it wired up into the controller. The battery charger comes out, like I said, here. It's a black cable, but it's positive going down there. I'll get some red tape. I'll tape that up too, just so nobody gets confused. Put some heat shrink on it or something. We'll work on that. But yeah, there's the system. All right, a lot of people want to know, you know, what the heck? That looks like a pretty heavy box. And it is, I ain't gonna lie. To carry it, me and my wife did, but we don't want to do it every time. So I'll probably take the batteries out next time, take them individually. But how this works, and, you know, let's get this off of here. Put it down on the ground. Okay, how this operates is, I have it hinged, all right? So, you take it, you lift it up. All right. Then you drop the rod through these. Like that. All right, voila. You can run this either up or down. It's the wires are long enough right there to flex, cover. Let's just show you again here how this works. Pull this out. This is hard to do with the phone, but here you go. Hinged down. As you can see on this side, plenty of airflow. I mean, it's wide open. So, and the heat sinks are up on that controller, so the heat's just gonna rise and drift out of the box that way. And there's plenty of gap here from the top for air to, you know, flow in and out around that. Let's come over to the other side. And see, we got the controller here. Not the controller, the inverter, 3000 watt, 24 volt, 3000 watt inverter. Plenty of room, and again, nothing but tons of room. You know, you're safe from hitting any of the battery terminals. And hey, you can get to all that real easy. Alrighty, you also want to get yourself one of these guys right here. Say you disconnect the breaker for the inverter, it sits for a long time, you're going to get a whale of a spark whenever you connect up these terminals, and it'll pit your stuff, and it will wreak havoc on it. So what you want to do is you want to just touch this resistor to there for about, say, 5 seconds, then lock it in. You're not going to get any spark to go and just hurt your insides of your breaker at all. So you want to get that. I also do the same with the satellite controller. Whenever I first fire it up, then latch that in. You know, after I latch the main first, then I'll charge this up, latch that one, charge that one up, latch it, and then you're good to go. Here you go. Here it is, if you need the information. And yeah, you don't want to run the system without one of those. Of course, whenever you're doing any of this, you want a good meter. You want a meter that does the voltages and amperage. What you do is you clamp this around your batteries, and it'll tell you how much amp is going through that wire there. And this one does DC, and you got to make sure they do DC and AC voltage, because, you know, we're primarily using DC, and a lot of them are just AC only. So make sure. This was like $37, which I did my research. There's some other really good ones, about $45. This was $37. It got really good reviews. It's the Astro AI CM4K0R. Yeah, it's well constructed, really accurate. It reads like 2 decimals out on the voltages, so yeah, I'm really pleased in that. Is it Astro? Yeah, Astro AI. Here's the 2 panels I'm using. They're just 100 watt panels. Since I got a 24 volt system, I got to get the voltage up a little bit more. So 2 in series. So that's, you know, the cables coming over go to the positive this one. Then these 2 are hooked together. Then from the negative this one, come on out. And it goes back to my system. And pretty soon I'm going to take this satellite dish off. and I'm gonna put some bracing on it so I can track. So I'll mount 4 of these on there, and then I can turn it with the sun and also turn the elevation, so it'll be kind of nice. All right, inside the garage, I've got 3 of these 400 watt panels that I'll use if the power goes down for a lot. Ooh, by the way, that's Elliott Sadler's windshield caught on fire while he was qualifying, I believe, at Talladega. Not sure, but that's there. Yeah, so I got 3 of those. So I got 1200 watts there, and if I'm just using them and not too intensively, I just throw on the 400 watts of the smaller panels. But you know, I got 1200. I can add an extra controller to it, and actually get up to 1600 watts if I wanted to. So yeah, I got all 3 of those panels for $225. So that's like $75 a piece. That's really good for 400 watt panels. All right, I picked up this Redodo 20 amp 12 volt charger, so I could charge each battery. You want to charge the batteries to be even before you put them into your system. What do you think, Dottie? Yeah, Dottie agrees. You got to put this, get every battery topped off, balanced out before you put it in your system. That's very important. Heck, you know, you could probably get one cheaper than Redodo, but remember what I say, go with Redodo, don't Redodo don't. I figure if I get the one from the manufacturer, it's going to be the right one to get. They're not going to sell you something that's not good for their own batteries, so I paid a little bit more, got this so I can top off the batteries, balance them out before I hook them all up. Very important. Get yourself one of these also. Well, in conclusion of today's testing, and like I said, I only threw 200 watts on it. I can do a lot more. You know, I can easily do 1200 watts of those other panels, or 1600 watts. If I parallel series those in line, yada yada, go watch some videos. I may make a video of that. Got to make sure the voltages and the amperages are just right to be able to mismatch panels. But literally, I'm only going to be doing 1200 watt, probably the 3 400 watt panels in there. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, or I'll try to put a list of everything we got here. Here's a dog here, keeping an eye on the system and everything. Yeah, you're a good dog. I played around. Can't go wrong with the George Foreman. That was like 700 watt George Foreman. Testing it with that, running it down, charging it up. I gotta get the battery, that negative battery terminal, so they're offset. And I'll come back after I run this for a while and do a review on my system. Maybe show it this winter if we lose power. Do a video while I got everything in use. But yeah, so far everything's running great. Nothing's getting warm, even with the 700 watt. You know, for the 3000 watt inverter, it's just tickling it. The cables are all doing just great. Nothing was getting hot whatsoever. So I think I can run 1000 watts without even thinking about any of the cables getting hot or anything like that. So tests are good. If you have any questions, you know, hit me down in the comments down below. Like I say, you want to Redodo instead of Redodont. Do your own research. They got, you know, people love them. The prices are incredible, and customer service answer my question right away. So I want to thank Redodo, I'm going to say, or Redodo or Redodo, whatever it is. It's what am I trying to say? Redodo. You want a Redodo. You don't want a Redodont. All right. Well, again, hopefully I learn a lot from my mistakes in putting this together. Hopefully you got a little bit of insight of what a system could be. Probably could get away with a 40 amp charger and just be fine, but 60 amp I can grow a little bit. I'm just tickled pink with how this all worked out. Oh, one last thing here. Hold on. These with a whole bunch of connectors were like $38. And these you just crimp. You want to get a good crimper whenever you're doing them 2-gauge wires. This will do all kind of gauges, smaller gauges, all the way up to, I think, zero gauge, all the way to, you know, smaller stuff. So get yourself, they're not, you know, the greatest in the world, but man, you can't pull the connectors apart, and everything's cool as can be, so it's working good. Anything else? Along with your voltmeter over there, along with a good voltmeter, I got this thing. It tells you how much, you know, AC you're drawing out of it, so I can monitor that. And my refrigerator was only, in 24 hours, was 1,000 watt hours. So I'm really pleased with that. That means I'll be able to charge during the day and keep everything running that I think I'll be using. I think I'll be under 1,000 watts total. If everything's kicked in at the same time, you know, 100 on the freezer, maybe like 200 something on the refrigerator, and the fan kicking on every now and then to run the gas heat is like 500 watts, 400, 500, somewhere in there. So yeah, nothing's gonna be, sometimes they'll all be running, but they're all turning off. It's gonna be colder, so the fridge is out in the garage, so it won't be kicking on too much. And the refrigerator, you know how they are. They kick on, kick off. I should be able to make it throughout the night on this. I've got some Jackeries with the lithium-ion batteries. I've got 200 watt panels for those, so I can throw those in there too. They're the older lithium technology, so it takes about 5 hours for them to charge back up. So I can charge them during the day, use them at night also. I think I easily can make it through the nighttime and then back into the day, and you know, be pulling in enough sun to charge. I have less than 20, since it's a 60 amp charger. I got 4 batteries. That's like 15 amps so I'm not hitting the batteries hard. That's why I went with 4 also. More capacity, and also less, you know, only 14 amps going into each battery. They recommend 20 amps, you know, to charge them. So I'm underneath the recommendation of 20 amps, so I'm not going to be hitting them hard. Probably keeping the batteries lasting long. That's it, guys. You know, I'll follow up on this. Again, battery terminals, make sure they're all copper. Make sure everything, your wires, 100% copper. Good stuff. I'll put in the description, not the description, yeah, in the description, I will put where I got all this. That's gonna take me an hour, but I bought some other stuff too. And yeah, I found out that I probably shouldn't have gone with that stuff. So I got some leftover equipment, learned from my mistakes. I'll throw everything I got in here, and I'll let you know how it all works out. Do some more testing, and yeah, I'll do a video if I use it this winter when the power's out. Well, knuckleheads, back to you, and have a great day, and good luck with your solar projects.